Can you hear me okay? Hi everyone! Welcome back to Torrey Hollow Farm. Today we're going to talk about Fern and I guess Clover, because they're a couple now. That is big news around here. So Fern, we got from the same place we got our original goose, Gigi. She was in a cage at an animal auction, and it happened to be the same place that had hatched Gigi. And I paid for her, remember in our past episode, cash. She never went to auction. I just paid for her and left, and we got in the car and brought her home. And I sent out feathers because she had already been about she was a juvenile gosling. We sent in her feathers to Animal Genetics, where we had gotten back other results in the past. And they told us it was a boy, and we had our gender reveal on the channel. It's this little goose. It's in. Boy! It's a boy.
I knew
You're a boy!
I knew it! You're a boy!
Except something has happened since then. A couple things, which has made me go back and realize that I should have picked up on some of the clues. All animals kind of give us clues, and then there's a few that are stronger than others. So Fern is a Chinese goose. Let's look at her. Like, she's got a beautiful wingspan. She's actually a pretty small goose compared to Clover, who's a heavier goose. They're ornamental, so she can fly and get about like 3 feet off the ground, and then it's only for a few seconds, and then she lands. Hi, sweetie. So she was handled a lot as a baby, so she's not too freaked out, other than the fact she wants to get down with Clover. So let's see how long. She's got really beautiful wings. And she's probably going to molt soon, I would think, because she hasn't yet. And then this part on her, which has become more prominent over the past 9 months of her life, is called a knob, I learned. And it's strangely soft. I don't know if you can see. I always would have thought that it was the same as her beak, but at some point here, it transitions to very soft tissue. It's like really soft. And then it goes right into her head. And she's beautiful. I mean, we didn't know she was a Chinese goose until she started really showing that, or maybe other people would have known. I didn't know. Some other things about her that also tell us that she's a girl before the big bomb that was laid was that she has, and this isn't always the case, but she has one lobe here, so she's just got one bloop, whereas Clover, if you look, he has two. So that's telling. And then also her voice, when she honks, is very deep and not high-pitched. So females have deeper voices and boys have high-pitched. Usually when Clover yells at me, I'm like, whatever you want, take it, because he's really obnoxious. And she's really not offensive with her voice. She can yell at me and it doesn't bother me. So these are where her ears are. All birds like to have their ears massaged. So she's really become a really beautiful goose. And the best part about Fern is that bringing her here made Clover so happy. So we always called them the boys because we just thought giving him a friend was the greatest thing ever. But we have found out that there's more going on. So what happened that we found out was that I was coaching one evening, and Sean put away the flock, and he said, you should go check on Fern. They sleep in the shed with the emus. He said, when I went to go put them away, Fern wasn't, I couldn't find him. And so he said he was in the shed already, sitting in the corner. And I was like, that's strange. So that always makes me wonder if something happened, so that they're kind of, taking themselves out of the flock mix to solitary confinement, just for rest or, just to get away from everything. So I did go out. I put my boots on and went out with a flashlight to check. And so when I got out to the shed, it was very apparent that there was an egg that I've never seen before. An emu had smashed it, but it was huge. I mean, just, all broken up. So I picked it up and carried it inside and showed Sean, and I was just like, we've been tricked. So Fern is definitely a girl, because I know Clover's a boy based on his behavior with inanimate objects. So it has to be her, because an emu egg is very distinctive too, and it is not a chicken egg. So since then, she has laid an egg consistently at least every 3 days. And I have found out that Chinese geese are one of the most prolific egg layers and could lay up to 100 eggs in a season, which is insane. I just think that eggs are the coolest thing. There's never a time where I don't get an egg that I don't look at it in amazement. I just think it's insane that from this little body produces that. I think it's amazing. Did you do that? What do you think? So she kind of creates this little nest area each time. You can see she makes a little hole and leaves it. And I think if she could, if it was, there day after day, at some point she would have a clutch and she would sit on them. But the emus would step on them. So we've been taking them. I'm kicking around, hatching one. Yeah, but I don't know if we need another goose. So it would be interesting to see a Chinese Sebastopol cross, but we'll see. I know. You want a baby? Okay. She's very talkative. I think being outside the fence, she'll be confused, but I think oopsie, she's gonna go right to check in on Clover. Clover! He's gonna check in on her. The geese are very unique and special to me because we have a couple roosters and CJ, our turkey, who's not so nice. I actually want her to stay this direction. And they protect me from them. Go that way. Go that way. Having Fern join the farm was the best thing we could have ever done because Clover was actually not nice. We were considering rehoming Clover to somewhere where he could have some friends, and bringing Fern here really changed everything. I think it gave him a purpose, someone to take care of, and companionship. They certainly speak a different avian language. Thanks, Maisie. Quiet. So they're just happy to have each other, which is really cute. I think they're so unique too. I love their coloring and everything. What's funny about this, I can tell by looking at it, that she must nose it, she beaks, she nuzzles it, because I can see. So when they come out, they have this they're wet. This bloom, they're super clean and wet, and they always are dirty, and it's because she must position it, get it warm around. So I can see that she pushed it around. I don't know if you can, well, it's not even that, it's the little scratches in it are actually from her beak. Isn't that funny? If I wanted to hatch this egg, I could use my incubator with a turner, which would basically do this to it. Every 24 hours, it does that twice. Or I can lay it flat and just mark it and hand turn it a couple times a day. Because that's what would happen in nature by the mom getting on and off the nest. A normal chicken egg would hatch in 21 days, and this would take 28. So it's tempting, but it's also, I think, irresponsible to bring more birds into the world that may not have a great home. If I had another boy, that could really mess with Clover. So I take that pretty seriously about, just having hatching eggs. I know lots of people that just hatch eggs because they have them, and I'm not so sure that that's such a great thing. So all the animals that come here are family members, and I don't want to have extras. I have too many roosters, for instance, right now, and as a result, it kind of changes, the dynamic of the flock. So I have to be cognizant of that when I want to hatch eggs, because 50-50, you're going to get boys, and boys, are territorial and get hormonal. So the other thing I was going to show you is these are the papers I get back from the DNA sexing place. I've used them 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and they were accurate with my first goose, Gigi, and my emus, which I submitted to them as thinking Millie and Max, here they are with their feathers that I submitted, and I was wrong. I actually had them reversed, and we talked about that in an episode. So you can see with them, Millie is a male and Max is a female. So that was always funny. I was like, I can't believe I did that. But it also was very apparent once I knew that their distinctive characteristics that make them males and females that you can tell were very prominent to me. I was like, well, of course, but I wasn't sure. So then this is a problem because I've only ever had one royal palm turkey here, and it's a girl. So Wendell is definitely a girl, and I sent in her egg. So that is the most 100%, like 99% way to have these guys do it. So I'm kind of disappointed on that. That was July 11th of 2021, and then about June 27th of 2021, I sent in Fern's feathers, and they told me it's a boy. So you also find this out online, and then they send you the report.